Good evening and welcome to this Wednesday, June 2nd edition of EastCast. I'm Tracy Denton here with my co-anchor Mike Leal to bring you the news of the week. Jello wrestling took place here at East last Monday, May 24th. Novelty Wrestling provided the pit for East's second annual Jello wrestling contest in the DeBart Gym. Admission was $5 and proceeds went to Project Graduation. Nancy Kelleher and Lynn Stalkup of the Home and School Association chaired the event. Some student wrestlers were Susan Wright, Michelle Briggs, Lisa Schuster, Natalie Levy, Steve Kushner, Adam Shane, Mike Mansour, Aaron Schaffer, Jill Marple, Amy Marinock, AJ Salvador, Andrew Dwyer, Chris Kelleher, Lou Regan, Steve Stalkup, and others. The faculty wrestlers were Tom Cohen, Mrs. Mancini, Mr. and Mrs. McCormick from Beck, and a team called the Receding Hairlines, which was Mr. Belchikoff, Mr. Steele, and another team called the Monsters of the Midway, which was Mr. Wood, Mr. Weaver, and Mr. Zeff. Chairperson Nancy Kelleher said, quote, "It was a successful fundraiser and all who participated enjoyed," unquote. And in case you were worried, the green Jello that was served in the cafeteria the next day was not from the Jello pit.
We held our annual Pavas Day last Friday. Orchesis was the first of the performances. Orchesis is a dance company that has a variety of different performers with different styles. Among the performances that were given were modern hip hop, new wave, tap, and jazz. The performers varied in age. There are seniors, Trisha Orlosa, Sarah Bradslow, and even freshmen, Leslie Miller and Erica Nathanson. In Period 2, a one-act play written by a very talented young man, Andrew Bretler, was performed. The play was a very well-written and extremely well-performed. It was based on the main character, Jonathan, trying to find the true him. The cast included Jonathan Ross and Jason Lynch. Period 4 was full of music, vocal workshop, and wind ensemble, and the famed East Singers performed. East Singers got a rousing applause for the singing of a Swahili song. All groups did very well. The rest of the day was full of visual arts such as ceramics and paintings. The performing and visual arts continue to be celebrated here at East.
Tomorrow night is East's long-awaited senior prom. The chairpeople this year are Sue Wright, Gina Chung, Jana Heisler, and Nancy Lee. It will be held at the Hyatt. It was originally supposed to be held at the racetrack, but rumors that the racetrack might close inspired the chairpeople to change the location. The chairpeople have worked hard planning a menu which includes a buffet. Tickets were $85 per couple. A new tradition added this year is a plan to stop drug abuse. Students could not buy tickets unless their parents attended meetings and signed a form saying that their children would not use alcohol and other drugs. We hope this year's senior prom will be a happy and safe occasion for all who attend. We'd like to remind you that even though the prom is being held on a Thursday night, all seniors are expected to be on school on Friday or they will not be able to graduate. Just kidding. And now, doubling as our sports reporter this week, Mike Leal.
Well, Tracy, the Cherry Hill East Cougars boys tennis team seems to be back. After a one-year absence, the Cougars are state Group 4 champions again. They won their third state title in 4 years yesterday with 5-0 victories at Mercer County Park. The Cougars beat North Bergen in the semifinals in the morning before defeating Livingston in the final in the afternoon. Congratulations to Jared Morris, Steve Levy, and the rest of the East boys team for a job well done. Sports writers came to East the other day. Sports reporters for Eastside and EastCast were visited last Thursday by two local sports writers. Bill Kenny, the sports editor for the Courier-Post for the past 20 years, and Larry Litwin, former KYW radio sports announcer, shared their secrets with the East sports writers and announcers. Both speakers recognize that sports announcing and writing has changed in the last few years with the increase of cable television channels. Now most people not only know the scores, but also have seen most of the plays. Therefore, the writers must concentrate on the behind-the-scenes aspect of the sports. They also stress that good sports writing is like talking to a friend. Additional tips were given to the sports journalists about careers and how to get started. Both Eastside and EastCast members came away with ideas to improve their stories. That's it for the news tonight. Special thanks to Mr. Gordon Hanson, camera person and editor, to Mr. Keith Haynes, advisor, and to Tracy Denton, the student camera person and my co-anchor. Thanks for joining me, Mike Leal. this evening. Stay tuned for West Band concert, which follows the junior high school news. Tonight we leave you with Ophelia, remembering all the veterans on Memorial Day. Good night, Ophelia.
Woof woof. I didn't want to do it.
Oh,
Good evening, and welcome to the West Report. I'm Adrienne Gum.
And I'm Lindsay Melson. Last Friday was PAVIS Day at Cherry Hill West. Members of PAVIS, which stands for Performing and Visual Arts Society, had prepared many weeks in advance for this annual event. Throughout the day, there were different displays in the cafeteria, Jones Gym, and auditorium. In the cafeteria, there were goods for sale made by the culinary arts classes at West. In the Jones Gym, the art, photography, woodshop, and metal shop classes displayed their best works. And in the auditorium, a variety of groups performed during different periods. First period was orchestra. Second period was the winning sophomore one-act adaptations. Third period, vocal workshop, chanson, and West Singers, 3 vocal groups directed by Mrs. Christine Bass, joined together to sing excerpts from this year's Broadway night. Periods 4, 7, and 8 consisted of men of note, chamber singers, and jazz ensemble. And periods 5 and 6 were reserved for variety acts and talent portions displayed in ways such as singing, dancing, and acting. Both students involved and spectating seemed to really enjoy PAVIS, and plans will soon begin to be made for next year again.
The senior prom was Saturday night at the Bellevue in Center City, Philadelphia. The prom started at 8 and ended at 1 a.m. A delicious turkey dinner was served, followed by dessert. The evening was fun and entertaining with the help of great music, which got people out on the dance floor. Forever Young was the theme song of the night. Some seniors who attended made comments that this was their best prom ever.
On Friday, June 4th, Home and School Association will hold an award ceremony during 8th period in the auditorium. Approximately 275 students will be recognized at this assembly for various achievements. Now here's Dave Mareka with this week's sports.
For the 7th consecutive year, Cherry Hill West is the South Jersey baseball champion, this year in the Group 4 division. The team's 3rd victory of the state tournament was an 11-6 win over Toms River North. Sophomore Jason Flory had 2 triples and 3 hits in the ballgame, and Greg Peck picked up his 3rd tournament victory. With the South Jersey championship game to look forward to later in the week, the Lions had 2 key conference games against Highland and Overbrook. The team dumped Highland 21-7, behind a combined 6 hits and 8 RBIs from Rod Ramirez and Jason Flory. The next day, however, West let a 6-0 lead slip as Overbrook came from behind to beat West 8-7 in 8 innings. Tom Trotman's ball club looked like it was in the same frame of mind when the South Jersey Group 4 championship game began. After 6.5 innings, the Lions were down 6-2 and had virtually no chance of procuring a victory. But don't forget, this is the never say die baseball preached at Cherry Hill West. The team tied the score at 6-all in the last half of the inning. Then Pete Wasnitzer mowed down the Toms River North team before Brad Napoli slashed a single to score Chris Martini and give West the victory. Unbelievable. This week the Lions have at least one state tournament game. A victory provides them with another. They also play Washington Township later in the week for the Olympic Conference. The West softball team concluded its season with a 12-0 loss to Highland last week. The boys tennis team had a commanding 5-0 win over Washington Township last week. Harris Adler, Majid Moyuddin, and Wes Tudor were each victorious in their respective singles matches. And in South Jersey individual play, the doubles combination of Jason and John Conwell won the Vineland tournament. Congratulations to these 2 players and good luck in their championship quest. The Lady Lions lacrosse team concluded its season on a strong note with 1 win and a tie. The team first beat a perennial powerhouse club, Eastern, 13-10. Hayon Ree scored 5 goals for West, and Michelle Rubuski added 4. Then, against Deptford last week, Wednesday tied 12-12 as Adrian Thorpe scored 5 goals. Congratulations to the team on a fine effort all season. The boys track team lost its final dual meet last week, 93-38 to Washington Township. However, on Saturday, discus thrower Aaron Lazar competed in the Group 4 individual state championships. Lazar tossed over 150 feet and took 5th place in the Group 4. He will now compete in the state grand championships this week. Good luck to him. And the girls track team ended its season with a win and a loss. Washington Township beat West 82-40, but the Lady Lions rebounded to crush Triton 103-15. Nina Moore again took 3 first places in the 100 and 200 meter dash and the long jump. Also, freshman Jen Jennings won both the 1600 and the 3200 meter run. On Saturday, Moore picked up 4.5 points for West in the state Group 4 championships. She advanced to the grand championships by taking 6th in the 100 meter dash and 4th in the long jump. Good luck to her this week. Well, that's all the sports. Now back to the West Report.
On Thursday, June 24th, Project Graduation, the last night, will be held at the Jewish Community Center for all graduates. The party will last all night. This includes breakfast. Tickets will be $10.
Attention all students, if you have an overdue obligation to the school, such as library books or sports equipment, it must be turned in as soon as possible in order to ensure scheduled arrival of your report card. Thank you for watching the West Report. Please join us again next week at this time. Stay tuned for the West Spring Band Concert following the junior school news. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening and welcome to Carusi News. I'm Karen Greenwald. Tonight at 7:30 p.m., some of the most talented musicians in Cherry Hill will present a spring concert at Carusi Junior School. The concert will spotlight the Mustang Band, Orchestra, Jazz Ensemble, Wind Ensemble, Show Choir, and Chorus. On Monday, June 21st, 1993, the 8th grade will visit the New Jersey State Aquarium in Camden. This trip is being sponsored by the Science Department and will be self-funded. The cost of the trip is $7 for each student. This includes transportation as well as admission costs. Any student who does not wish to go on the trip will attend class at Carusi. 8th graders will report to school at the regular time and follow a normal schedule until our departure at approximately 9:30 a.m. to the aquarium. When the students return from the aquarium, they will eat lunch, receive their yearbooks. The yearbook signing party will follow. Department All-Stars and Student of the Marking Periods have been announced. Here's Arit Avaram with more information.
Thanks, Karen. The following students are to be congratulated for being selected as either a Department All-Star or a student of the marking period. Each winner received a certificate, his or her picture displayed in the hallway, and delicious breakfast courtesy of McDonald's. Kim Amato, Andrew Ashman, Ed Carey, Katie Galazewski, Dan Gulrich, Russell Gutin, April Hoops, Mark Jones, Farouk Khan, Shayna Kushner, Elisa McDevitt, Suno Mystery, Krista Moody, Kate Mulford, Jim Newsom, Tim O'Neill, Janine Oxenberg, David Price, Patricia Prune, Sasha Rankling, Anthony Riccardi, Carl Rosenthal, Jill DeShearer, Matt Scott, Jessica Vernon, Eileen Wagner, David Shapiro, Evan Reese, Kevin Wanamaker, Tina Butler, Violetta Katsitskis were all 7th graders. The 8th graders are Johnny Chung, Jenny Correa, Steve Engelson, Jamie Feingold, Vila Frazier, Alina Gorgiou, Lacey Gibbon, Michelle Gibson, Michelle Harp, Walter King, Jason Kuntz, Katie Lamont, Christina Lauterbach, Han Lee, Sean McFedrich, Sarah McIlvain, Dawn Mims, Mickey Mulcahy, Christine Peluso, Frank Romano, Matt Russell, Luke Seymour, Nick Strasser, Leslie Struthers, Kelly Woodcock, and Sherry Wolfgang. Now back to you, Karen.
Here's Mark Scepter with more important announcements.
Attention all 8th graders and their families. The 8th grade graduation program is scheduled to begin at 9:30 a.m. on June 24th in the gymnasium. Please plan your arrival so that you may be seated by 9:10 a.m. Our program should conclude by 10:15. Each student will be issued 2 tickets for reserved seating in the gym until 9:15 a.m. Other family members are welcome to attend, but seating cannot be assured. Carusi Student Council will host a special 8th grade graduation dance for 8th grade students only. Students are asked to attend in appropriate attire. A coat and tie for boys, a dress for girls. Gowns and tuxedos are not recommended. Weather permitting, this event will be held outside in the courtyard. Remember, only 8th grade Carusi students are invited to this activity. Admission and refreshments are free. On Monday, June 21st, 1993, the 1993 Carusi Yearbook, Echo, will be distributed to those students who have ordered them. That same day, our 8th grade class only will have a special yearbook signing party after the aquarium trip. Note, if there are any extra yearbooks, 8th graders who have not previously done so may purchase them on June 22nd. Now back to you, Karen.
Thanks, Mark. Here's Diane Zbikowski with sports.
Thanks, Karen. All the sports teams have wrapped up their season except for the 8th grade baseball team, who is in the playoffs. In yesterday's semifinal game, Carusi beat Harrington 10-6. The team played the championship game this afternoon against Medford. We'll report on the game next week. The 7th grade baseball team had a good season this year in spite of a 4-5 record. Mr. Klein considered it a challenge to coach these players because there was a lack of experience. However, the players were very coachable and there was a great deal of improvement over the course of the season. Overall, Mr. Klein enjoyed the season immensely. On Tuesday, May 25th, the 8th grade softball team finished out their season with 23-8 victory over Haddonfield. Kate McGill led the attack with 4 hits, including a monstrous home run. Other key hitters were Gina Hart, Christine Fee, Kelly Woodcock, and Andrea Thiel. Janet Barker and Jen Mariani anchored the defense. The team's record was 3 wins and 6 losses. Some key players of the season were Kate McGill, Andrea Thiel, Diane Zbikowski, Lindsay Weiderman, Gina Hart, Chris Fee, Allison Stoner, Kelly Woodcock, and Michelle Hart. But the whole team should be commended on excellent sportsmanship and a job well done. A special thanks should go to Mr. Simon, Mr. Capella, and Mr. Golden for helping out during the season, and of course to Mr. Gerst for doing such an excellent coaching job. The track team had a good season. Their record ended up to be 5-3. 50 students qualified for track championships. The track members got 3rd place in the championship meet and the Morristown Invitational. Congratulations to all the members. Back to you, Karen.
Thanks, Diane. We would like to thank Lindsay Weiderman, Michelle Harp, and Leslie Ryan for their contributions. We would also like to thank Mr. Gerst, our advisor, and Mr. Hanson, our cameraman. Thanks for watching and good night.